Hello everyone. I'm Ian Whittingham, joint founder and managing director of Sigma Sport. We're a retailer of road cycling and triathlon bikes, accessories and clothing. I've been coming along, as Jamie said, I've been coming along to these kind of feature events for 3 to 4 years, and as we started our journey into online, and we picked up plenty of ideas, contacts along the way. So when Jamie asked me to speak, and although he says that I said I would, I'm absolutely certain you asked me to speak. I thought it'd be interesting to hear what basically a bunch of complete novices have managed to achieve in a relatively short space of time. So road cycling, it's grown at a crazy rate over the last 10 years. I'm sure many of you in this room, all of you in this room, must spend your Sunday morning stuck behind bunches of cyclists on the road, Richmond Park, etc. It's grown at a far faster rate than we could ever imagined. It's gone from minority to mainstream, driven along by the Olympic effect, the Wigo effect, etc. At this point, I feel the need to explain the terminology mammal, which I noticed Jamie used in the agenda for my speech. So just the next slide gives you a definition of that. I'm very much one of those, as is Jamie. I'm sure there's probably some others in this room. That's what's fueling the growth in. Yeah. Okay. That's okay. Not as many as you get these days. It's I've gone from being the kind of weirdo at the dinner party table who did cycling all those years ago to finding quite a lot of people who share the same passion. So, quick history, and you'll see with these slides. I'm not a PowerPoint man. I've never. These are my first go at making some slides. Started in 1992. Left school, no real clear idea of what we wanted to do with our lives. So me and my friend decided we'd start a bike shop as we were quite into our cycling. Outgrew that and expanded, moved into Kingston upon Thames into a 1,500. So that was 400 square feet, 1,500 square feet shop, and we were there for 15 years. 2009, 2008, 2008, the boom started happening, just at a time when the whole world economy seemed to be kind of collapsing around our ears. The boom in cycling started happening, and on the growth of that boom, we saw an opportunity we were coming to the end of our lease. There was an office building that had been sat empty for 3 years, and we saw the opportunity to really grow our retail business. So on a bike ride Sunday morning, found a chap who has now who invested in our business in 2009, enabled us to acquire this building, and the plan was we'd roll out 5 more shops through the country over the next couple of years. But in that, it's amazing. In that short period of time, from 2009 through to 2010, our world was changing at such a crazy rate, and that move to online was happening at a far faster pace than we'd ever imagined. In fact, we felt almost a level of immunity being a bike shop, and you've got to come here to buy your bike. And actually, we were seeing our customer habits changing incredibly rapidly. So we opened the store end of 2010. Met and very quickly changed our plans. Said, forget the stores. It's all about online, and that's where the journey began. We already had some stuff going online, but it was very, very basic level. So we changed our tact, and then which we left, launched our website, opened a new distribution facility in 2014, and then 4 weeks ago we moved into our new head office to house our ever-growing team of staff. And then this is our dream come true. 9,000 square feet of retail space, a road cyclist mecca. So that's where you'll find us today if you visit our store, Kingston upon Thames. So just to be briefly at context where we are today. So last 3 years we've doubled our sales. So we're £17 million in our last financial year, which ended in May, and we're a third of our way through our new year, when we're on target to achieve 50% growth as we head into 2018. And there's 70 of us in the business, 70 full-time staff in the business these days. Our customer. So our customer is, as I said at the beginning, mammal. It's 35 to 55-year-old male cyclists who, it's weird, we all seem to share that love of great coffee and cycling in equal measure. But within that, we have a broad spread of incomes, and we have beginners, we have absolute obsessives. 20% of our customer base is female, which, although it's not anywhere near as big as we'd like, it's growing. We also cater for triathletes, so lots of different groups of customers, and it's really important that we start to talk to them differently, and a bit more about that a little bit later on. So our culture. You hear it all the time, but it's true. It's true for us. We have a customer first approach. Always have done since day one. That's very easy to do when there's three of you in a small shop and you know every customer on first name terms. But as we've grown, it's something that's stayed absolutely true to our core. And it's something that we talk about every single day in our business. And it doesn't matter if you work in accounts or in the warehouse, frontline sales, it's all about customer first. Everything we can do to make that customer journey as good as it can possibly be. And the mantra is, if you're about to say no to a customer, just stop and think why you're going to do that. Go and talk to your manager. Let's do what we can do to really make it happen. And then I put this slide up because this is a shot of our Strava staff leaderboard from last week, and I just thought it kind of shows you the staff we employ. Huge amounts of them are just like our customers. They're obsessive cyclists, and I did that picture. The first picture of me was on a ride where I did 480 miles in 5 days 2 weeks ago. I still didn't manage to make it to the top of the leaderboard. Like, these guys are obsessive about what they do. And I couldn't imagine employing anyone in a frontline customer-facing role who wasn't as passionate and obsessive about cycling as our customers are. So, quick one on the store. So, the shot of our first floor. It's boutique-y. It's all about great displays. Think kind of Mr. Porter of cycling. Beautifully curated ranges. But our store was experiencing no sales growth for 3 years. And having a foot in both camps with a growing online business, we're seeing categories moving, changing and moving. Clothing and footwear in particular were a category that we could see shrinking away in store, growing online. But using that access and that insight into data, we were able to make some changes. So we went out and we decided to derange some of the more mainstream brands we're doing from the store, go for more niche-y. So we went off, we found some brands from Australia, from Denmark, and started to change up the mix in the shop, make retail brands that you just couldn't find that easily elsewhere, and managed to reverse that decline. The other thing with the store, we make more than ever now of making it a social hub. So events, rides, courses on bike maintenance. Anything we can do to kind of surprise, delight, educate our customers to make the store relevant. So we put a lot of work into that. We also invested in a brand new bike fit studio. So here you can come and spend 3 hours with us at the cost of £300, and we'll optimise your position on a bike. It's going so well that we're about to take down the office on the top floor and build a second fit room. Again, it's catering for stuff obviously that you just can't do online, and of course our workshop is also, it's a terrible picture actually. We've got a lovely workshop with about 5 work stands, but that's all I could get at 5:30 last night before everyone went home. Again, it's really kind of doing everything we can to make sure that what we're doing in the store is relevant. And the great thing is that after 3 years of flat, or in fact actually slight decline in our store sales, we managed to get things back on track with over 10% growth in the last 18 months, and that's roaring ahead. So it just shows that actually at a time where we're thinking our stores are becoming less relevant to our business, actually, from the customer's point of view, actually we were able to make it very relevant for different reasons. And the store's our DNA. It's what our brand was built on. It's what secures us the very best brands in the business to work with, who allow us to sell their products online. So it's there. We're not going to have any more of them. It's going to be this one, but we spend a lot of time making sure we keep it relevant, fresh, exciting for our customers. And then, running out of time, so I basically did this slide, and I was going to pile a load of just some facts and figures about online and about how we've grown it. So, and this is obviously kind of the more interesting bit for today's presentation. So, in the last 3 years, we've managed to grow our online sales from £2 million to £11 million. And I say at the beginning of this, we were a bunch of guys who just like working in a bike shop, and we saw the opportunity and seized it. And we've kind of grown organically. We've employed people because they're cyclists first and foremost, not because they're e-commerce experts. But how do we do it? And I've listed a few kind of the interesting bits and pieces we've been up to. So we've been on a very steep learning curve. Had no idea it would be this complicated and hard to build this online presence. And we spent a lot of time at events like this talking with industry peers, and it's been invaluable. We built new teams that didn't exist 3 years ago, so we have dedicated teams now for content, social, digital. We now have gone from nobody marketing to a 5-man team. We have customer service teams and people in dispatch. All obvious things, but honestly, 4 or 5 years ago, if you told me I had people working in the business who didn't work in the shop on weekends, I would have kind of gone, really? It's a real change in kind of mindset and culture. We've also grown our purchasing team exponentially, so we've really kind of beefed that up so the guys have got the resource they need from a human perspective, and also spent a lot on reporting, so they've got all the tools they need to make informed buying decisions. We built a great system. So after a terrible start in our new store with a system that fell apart at the seams, we moved to a new provider in 2013, and the criteria was it was a digital-first provider. Although we're a retailer, we knew that was where the big growth lay. So we had to accept they had a bit of a ropey EPOS system, but we were happy with the fact that they were great at building a website for us, and we built a really solid stock management system. And we do all of our warehouse management from that, our customer relationship management, our website content's all driven from one central source. And then in areas where the platform provider doesn't cater well for that, we've gone out to best in class third-party providers. And the other thing we do is we make a lot of use of supplier feeds into our site so that our stock availability can look much better than it kind of actually is. And we do invest big time in stock of our own, but it's great to have that to help feed sales. We make full use of IT in our business to ensure stock is processed. We spend a lot of time making sure that when stock arrives, it's processed and into the business within 24 hours. It's not sat in a huge queue, it goods in. And we know at any point where that stock is, so we've got great accuracy, and that improves the whole customer experience when it comes to reserve and collecting. It's like we're making sure that actually that stock that we say is in the business, and we pick from our store as well as our warehouse, we can still make sure that order's out of the door that day and with the customer. We work with some great agencies on paid search and SEO. Took a while to find them. Spent a lot of time talking to other people in the industry. We've got a couple of great agencies, and in that short period of time, we've seen our growth in paid search up by sales driven by 1,300% and 600% growth in organic traffic to our website. Sales generated by organic. We also invested in a single customer view database. So we as good as our system is, it wasn't really giving us that view on the customer. So we started working with a company called More2 2.5 years ago when we didn't have a marketing department. It bought a single customer view and it bought us a marketing function. And that was great in helping us to really start to fine-tune how we're talking to our customers and understand how our customers were interacting with us, how we're acquiring them, and how we were retaining them when they were lapsing, etc. We're actually just now making a move from More2 to a new platform called Ametria, which gives us actually a live single customer view database. Only starting on that journey, but it's super exciting. It's a really powerful platform, and that's going to be the central piece to our personalisation that we're working on over the coming months. And also centralise our email as well, and it gives us the possibility to build endless rule-based actions to really kind of tailor our customers' experience. And we talked earlier about kind of customer segmentation. So yeah, we're able to kind of start to group these people into cohorts and really talk to them. Not doing it today very well, but we'll be doing it. We think in 12 months we should be away from our 4 broadcast emails a week to targeted emails for each of those, maybe with one broadcast email per week maximum. We've invested in our new fully responsive website, and we take a mobile first approach to everything we do on that website going forward. Like every retailer, I'm sure we're seeing over half our traffic now coming from mobile, so ever more important, and everything we do is about that mobile first experience. And then we've also done some integrations with some interesting third parties, so quick run through a couple of them. Globally is an interesting one, so international is a big opportunity, especially with the exchange rates, etc. We couldn't fix that one quickly on our website, so we integrated with Globally, which has given us payment almost every international currency going, local payment types. It's given us an incredible integration with DHL. We're able to get shipments to Western Australia in 2 to 3 days. It's amazing, and we've seen a growth of 15% in international business since that was launched 6 months ago. Search has always been a big one for us. We had our own rich search, which was okay, but we were struggling to really push it on, so we decided to move to SLI. I'm sure some of you in this room have heard of these guys. So just started with that, but it's really quite interesting to see already with better research results the increase we're seeing in conversion with their search, and that's only the beginning. That'll help us with merchandising, etc. as we carry on that journey. And then live chat, it's not the icon's not there, but live chat as well is a big one for us. It's on the go, morning, noon, and night. We have with staff 6 days a week, and again, a really important part of our armoury and our ability to talk to customers. We've also done a bit of work with Google on using their Optimize tool for some testing out different ways of displaying stuff on our website. And in fact, we had a very nice kind of shout out from Google as a result of the experimentation we've done, an event they did in LA and on their website, which has been interesting. And by doing a brand affinity experiment, so learning that people who visited and used the search term specialised or browse specialised products, which is one of our big brands, if we started to change that top banner to be much more oriented around that brand, we saw a 28% rise in revenue and a 32% increase in e-com conversion during that experiment. So again, we're playing with that a lot. Yeah, I mean, it's really quite incredible figures actually. So that's something else we're playing with. So as you can see, we've been pretty busy, really kind of thrown ourselves headfirst into it, but it's had some great results. And then finally, social channels. Really big for us. We've got a sport that's very colourful, very emotional, and we use social a lot. For us, it's more and more becoming about Instagram. That's where we're seeing our biggest growth. It's where we feel we can best get that offline experience to our online customers, and we've seen our social traffic grow by almost 500% in the last 3 years. And then we also use Strava. So Strava, I didn't explain Strava there's a saying in cycling, if your ride's not on Strava, it didn't happen. Our customers are hooked on their Garmin GPS devices, and everything you do on your bicycle, you download to Strava, and you can look at segments, and you can compare your activities to your friends. We're able to use Strava, and we can just gently drop in bits of marketing into the feed that those guys see when they literally the first thing they do when they get off their bike is saving that ride and making sure it's uploading via their mobile phone to Strava. So that's really an overview of what we've been up to the last 3 years. It's been a really exciting journey. It continues. We're all having lots of fun, and just remains for me to say I hope you enjoyed it, and thank you.